afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our next presentation. Our next presenter is Silver Tiger Metals, and presenting on behalf of the company's President CEO, Glenn Jessome. Glenn, over to you.
Thank you, Derek. Today, I'm going to share with you our El Tigre asset in Sonora, Mexico. The forward-looking statement, we'll get by that, and tell you about why we're so excited about this asset, tell you about our experience in Mexico, and what we're going to plan to do going forward. We've been in Mexico. I'm in Halifax. I'm a securities lawyer. I've built public companies in mining all my life, and have had the pleasure of working with a technical team in Mexico for 25 years that have found 3 mines and developed and sold 2 more to majors, the most recent being to Agnico Eagle 2 years ago. We've been very lucky to have that experience, and we've acquired this asset, and we're going to develop it going forward. We're in Sonora. We think Sonora is one of the best states in Mexico for mining. We're 80 kilometers from the US border. Let's talk about what we acquired when we acquired it. At the bottom of the market, 16, we identified an asset that we thought we should have, and Silver Tiger acquired it. It was owned by a public company called El Tigre Silver. They'd done some great work on it, and we wanted to partner with them and acquire this asset and take this further down the road. We acquired a massive land package in the Sierra Madre, 28,000 hectares. It's 35,000 kilometers long. The exciting part about this was that we had 25 kilometers of that prolific Sierra Madre trend going through it. But the reason we really acquired it was the old El Tigre mine. And that mine from 1903 to about 1930, an underground mine, I'll talk more about it and show you more about it, was basically 100 million silver equivalent ounces came out of it, and over 2 kilos per ton average grade. We thought that that was very exciting because these districts sometimes, many times, have a tenor of grade, and we thought if we could prove that tenor of grade, which we've started to do to the north, it would be a very valuable asset. And also we knew the old mine had a halo of gold mineralization around it. Even after those high-grade silver veins were gone, there was a halo there that we knew if we drilled 10, 15,000 meters in, we deliver a nice 43-101 compliant resource. We did that. That's done with a bow on and a nice underpinned resource for us. Before we go there and talk about that, let me talk about the neighborhood and some of the reasons why, other reasons why, if we needed them, that we thought this was a great asset to acquire. There's no ejido. Anyone who understands Mexico, there's no ejido for this land. It's all ranch land. We have agreements in place with all the ranchers for the whole 30,000 hectares almost to explore it. We've proven our theory enough so far that not only do we have, and the mineral rights are inside the gold box, I should say that for those that don't see that. There's a little white box inside here. That's 6,200 hectares. We bought that land. That's where all our exploration, that's where the old mine was. We thought we'd put that under our control and not only own the mineral rights, but own the land rights. I'm a big rancher, we like to joke, in Mexico now. And we bought that for $1.1 million. Access was so easy for us. We've been based out of Hermosillo, Mexico. This is the federal highway here that runs to the US. 2 hours to Hermosillo on that highway. And then we drive right into camp. Wonderful road access and tens and tens of kilometers of exploration roads on the project, which makes our exploration so simple. These things were all great boxes being ticked. The other thing we loved is that they hadn't given away the royalty to the other concession holders when they bolted this package back together. We still have the 2% NSR, full no royalties on this given away. That'll be of great value to us down the road. The other thing we liked, and just with serendipity, and I'll show you as we spin this, high transmission power runs right through the project. I'll show you why in a second. Lots of water on site for exploration for us, but the Angostura Dam is within kilometers, and there'll be lots of water for when we have a mine, when there is a mine, as we think there will be here down the road. If we spin this, we'll look west, and you can see why that power line is there. That was run by the Mexican government for Cananea, a big copper mine, one of the largest in the world. We see their waste sites, dumps from our site. Santa Elena is 125 kilometers from us. That's the asset that Silvercrest won, I guess you could call it, sold to First Majestic. And of course, Cheesepaw came out of that in the Spinco, and we all know what happened with that. The Carotid mine's 40 kilometers from us, a great big Grupo Mexico mine, all on this same trend. Let's look south for a minute in the neighborhood. Santa Gratuitous is one that's very interesting for us. It's the same technical team that I have working for us, as I said, for 25 years at Halifax. Identified that asset for another Halifax company that they've worked with for a long, long time here in Halifax. 4 years ago, they acquired another public company, and They ended up buying that for $6 million, spent $9 million on it, the same technical team and exploration. That was sold about 2 years ago to Agnico Eagle for $90 million USD. And by the time the royalty was sold last year, it was about $110 million all in. So a great success with the same technical team that I have working on El Tigre. Cheese Paw is 90 kilometers from us. I don't need to tell you much about Cheese Paw. They've done amazing there. It was a mine around the same vintage as El Tigre, high-grade underground silver mine, 1890s to 1930. Mr. Fear went in there with Silvercrest too, and what an incredible story. He drilled those vein extensions and unmined veins, and I think they went from 3.3 million in 16 to, I think as last time I looked, they were 1.7 billion. What a success story. We're getting ready to do the same sort of thing with our asset at El Tigre as we drill the vein extensions outside the old mine, which I'll show you momentarily. It's always about team. Without a technical team, it doesn't matter what asset you have in Mexico, you can't exploit it. I built this company, public company, for Dave Duncan, who was with Etruscan Resources for 20 years in Africa. Samara Hill Yuga, Agbo, you can read about it, were the mines he developed there. They were sold to Endeavor Mining. That's when Dave, Silver Tiger came to be. I built that company for Dave. And Ramon Luna was the geologist who worked on us to that point for 20 years with our group out of Halifax. And the marriage of those two has been incredible. And it's what really brought El Tigre and what's going to help us exploit El Tigre. What we're going to talk about here for the next 7, 8, 9 minutes is going to be this 6 or 7 kilometers mainly in our big land package of 35 kilometers. And this is the old El Tigre mine. We basically, after it was mined, we drilled the resource on that. I'll show you how we did that and delivered that 43101 compliant resource. But it's these vein extensions for 3 or 4 kilometers, same veins extending north in the same rock package, the El Tigre formation, with the geometry where the veins all come together that we think, we hope as we go to drill this thing, we can prove that there will be another El Tigre mine there to the north with that high grade still in it, and also with the good structure on the outside where we'll have the gold dissemination for 50, 60, 70 meters on each side of the veins. And we've proven a little bit of that, and I'll show you a few drill holes that we've done that in. Most people like to see, everybody likes to look at old mines, so I'll show you a picture. That was the El Tigre mine, turn of the century, 1,000 people up there. They took a lot of gold and silver out of it, and we still drilled a nice resource off over the remnant of the mine, the halo. I'm not going to talk about the green fields. You guys can all go look on verify.com or the app. This is all on there, and you can spend much more time than the 15 minutes I have. The green fields to the south extend the veins daylight. They go south for 7, 8 kilometers. We've now been this far down in the underground that's down there, high-grade gold and silver. We stepped out 500 meters, and I'll show you that below the old mine to the south. And we had fantastic drill results and high mineralization. We'll get back in there a bit too. The next slide really is just and simple. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on geology, but what we have here is just to prove that, or to show this is the same type of system our technical team's been working on for 25 years. The upper volcanics and lower volcanics, the transition zone in between is where all these big low sulfidation epithermal systems in Mexico are found. It's what our team has built 3 mines on in 25 years and developed 2 and sold to majors. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're working on exactly what we basically have been working on our entire time in Mexico. What I will show you here, which is important, and keep orienting you on where we are in the system. Phase 1, we drilled off the resource. Phase 2 is beginning now. Let's drill that unmined, basically, veins to the north as they extend, vein extensions, and to the south. And we put a few test holes in, a handful. All of them were multi-kilo hits. The last hole, or second last hole we drilled, hole 144, we had a meter of 10 kilos. Silver, 7.3 of that real silver. We can't wait to get the drill turning back up there in the next couple of weeks. Let's put a pin because time goes fast when you only have 15 minutes, and there's green fields to the north on the other side of the canyon. That's our brown fields here. That's 7, 8 kilometers. Our package continues to the north for 10 kilometers, and we've mapped and sampled the same veins up there. We'll get to that, but that's not in the next year. Look, here's the resource. We drilled this off quickly after we got the project. There it is. You can see it sitting in the pit. We'll go underground, and I'll tell you what it was, and then I'll tell you how we grabbed it. hit 660,000 ounces. And remember, most of this is gold because all the high-grade veins in the old mine were gone. We drilled that gold halo, which was 100 meters wide around the veins, and still delivered a very economic pit. 660,000 ounces of indicated here, 340,000 ounces of inferred. You can go look at the 43-101. That's on the books. The important thing for us is it's a beautiful underpinned resource that was drilled off at $1,250 gold. At the prices we have today, its value is going up every day. This is, I think, the most important slide to show you, because this is when I really realized the power of the El Tigre mine when I saw this. And if we find another one to the north where the veins continue in the same structure. There's the mine, turn of the century. I said 100 million silver equivalent ounces came out of it at an average grade of 2 kilos. But you're looking at the 14 levels. I'm going to orient it so you're looking down at the top of that mine. That black is the stope. That's what the old timers took out in those 30 years. It was a meter. It was super high grade. There was stuff in there 5, 6, 7, 10 kilos. We knew from our experience, and I'll not mark it on here, that there was a vein halo around it in that great El Tigre plumbing, that rock around the veins that was in places 100, 120 meters wide. We knew if we drilled that halo, the old timers had no interest in a couple of grams per ton gold, that we'd deliver, as you can see here in the top 150 meters over the mine, the resource. We did that in 2 years with 15,000 meters. That's all done with a bow on it. And this slide just simply represents, you can see our drill holes that we put in there, that 15,000 meters almost, to deliver that resource. That's phase one, that's done. Nice resource. We will step out, it's open to the south. We stepped out 500 meters, I'll show you that result, but we can't wait to get to the north where all of these vein extensions continue. That's the kind of stuff we drilled. You can go look at that on Verify. With the high-grade silver gone, we were hitting stuff like 120 meters, 1.38 per ton grams gold. Everybody thinks we've got a gold resource. This is a silver project. These veins at the old mine were over 75% silver, 25% gold. The dissemination is in the wide zone around them. We'll have some of that to the north also. For time, we're just going to skip ahead a couple of slides. I will show you, this is just where we stepped out 500 meters south of the old mine. We drilled one hole there. We'll fill this in as we get drilling again. Hole 140, one of the last of our program. We hit 1.5 meters at 10 grams per ton gold. Very pleased with that. Let's go talk about, though, what we're seeing. And I'm going to orient us first to the north because this is the exciting part for us. I think you're starting to understand the project now. We've got the 7 or 8 kilometers of the brownfields, continues for kilometers on either side. We drilled the resource off around the old mine. We stepped out 500 meters. Here's what we're going to talk about now. There's 3 or 4 kilometers of the same veins, daylighting. We walk on most of them. They outcrop in that same yellow rock, what we represented yellow El Tigre structure where we had the high, broad cuts around the old mine. Here's one of our last holes. I want to show you this, and we're going to basically get up there and start drilling around this area. End of the mine, 1.6 kilometers to the north. We drilled one of our last holes, hole 144. I'm going to orient that so you can see how we did it. You can see that drill hole right here, and I'll show you the results on the next page, cut not only the Cayley vein in the middle, but the Protectora vein here, and the Fundadora vein is here, and we have a great result, 2.7 kilometers in a hole on this one. Really important, this geometry. It's where these veins come together, like at the old mine down below, where they tighten up and get together. We find those high-grade clavos, and we're seeing indications of that. Let's look at the results we had in some of those last drill holes that we're going to follow up on now, and you can see those. That's hole 144. We drilled basically in that hole. What was really important was that meter of 10 kilos, 7.3 of it silver. That was 50 meters down the hole. We let the drill go another 25 or 30 meters. It picked up the Protectora. That's how close the veins are. And we cut 1.5 meters of a kilo. 2.7 kilometers to the north, or 2.5, we had a drill hole from an old company in there in the 80s that they had 1.5 meters on these same veins, close to surface of 21 grams per ton gold. So we know the high grades up there. This is a cartoon I think that everybody will get and can see really what we've got up there. And I'm going to go a couple of minutes over, Derek, to finish this off and show people what we're going to do. You can see where we intercepted with hole 144, 50 meters down. We had this intercept. We then let it drill down to here. This is all in that nice El Tigre structure. We cut hole 145 because we wanted to see, and we had 2 kilos, I think, in hole 144 or more, but we wanted to test that wide zone around it, gold dissemination. So we got in I think that was our last hole, 145. We cut 25 meters of a couple of grams. We expect as we drill these holes, we're going to not only get the high grade veins, but we'll be reporting the wide zones of gold disseminate beside those silver veins, which will be exciting. All these holes we're going to drill are going to be shallow. That's 50 meters. All these veins to the north I've showed you, they daylight, they outcrop. So we're not going to have any deep drilling here at all. What we're doing right now, guys, and so you'll understand here in the last couple of minutes, is we're on the mountain. We've been back since June, since the Mexican government made us essential. We've gone to the north, and we've got a lot of underground exploration adits. No drilling at the old mine at the turn of the century. The old timers put some exploration adits, 20, 30 meters. We've been in those, and that's how they sampled the veins. They were getting to this, they just never minded. So we've been in dozens of these all along that 3 or 4 kilometers. You can go look at the results. We've got hundreds of them, but high-grade silver. So that's really helped us to map and sample really why we're ready now for our drill program. This is where we're going. We just closed a private placement today of $11 million. Eric Sprott was one of the lead investors in that. It was all institutional. There were 8 institutions that took that. It was sort of a who's who of mining. I couldn't have picked it better. We could have taken a lot more, but I limited it to 11 million because that's all we need now to get going back on the mountain with the drill program. We're exploring now and have been, but here's the plan. Just to orient everybody, old El Tigre mine, drilled, resources done, stepping out to the south 500 meters. We'll put some more holes here, but we're going to get up here and we're going to drill 10,000 meters starting first week of September. It's raining in the Sierra Madre. We've drilled over 1 million meters in our 25 years down there. It's 1 foot forward, 3 steps back in rainy season. And we're going to be drilling and starting with 2 drills in September. And we're going to put a lot of meters in this thing this fall. And you can guess assured we're going to start stepping out from the Kaylee where we drilled that 10 kilos and 25, 50 meter shots and work our way all the back and up and forth through those 3-4 kilometers with a big drill program this fall. Phase 1 will be 10,000 meters. We're funded for 30, but you always have to drill the first 10,000 to see how things are going before you drill the next 20. So really, Derek, that's the story. We're excited about the project, that we locked it down, that it's as good as it is, and now we have the market and the resources at hand to prove that hopefully we've got another El Tigre mine sitting right there to the north.
Yeah, there has been some exciting results. Obviously, you've got your teams up there on the mountain now doing some work, and we saw some high grade sample results from you already from those going through those old veins. When can investors expect another batch of those results ahead of the drill program in September?
Absolutely. I got to be careful when I say when, but we've been back on the mountain as soon as we got back in after June 1. We were essential service, and we've had a full geological team up there almost for a month now sampling, and I know that things are starting to come off the mountain now. And we've been in that underground all across those 3 kilometers. We were doing this in November. People should go check. We thought the economy was going to roll over anyway pre-pandemic, and we got back in the mountain in November. Of course, we were stopped with the pandemic, but we actually got in some of the underground. You can see that press release from November here. I think we had a few up here. They were all multi-kilo hits in that underground. So people can go look at that press release if they'd like from November.
Yeah, and I guess that's that's just good fundamental work to map everything out, to know where you want to set up for those first 10,000 meters that you're going to drill. On that drill program, once you get started in early September, what do you think the turnaround is for sort of first assay results? Is that
well, we're not going to get up there and drill one hole and drop the mountain. We're going to drill, a hole there, 100-meter holes, about 2 days. So we'll drill a good 10, I don't know how many holes, 10, 20 holes, and then we'll get them off. You're going to see results start to come out probably, I'm not going to say the first week, but near end of September, you're going to start to see a steady flow of results. And we report all of our results. So there'll be 10 holes, and then probably every week after that, you'll start to see 5 or 6 once we get continuous on it.
I think that's what once you get going, it continues to go. And there's nothing more exciting than being funded for the first 30,000 meters, but only drilling the first 10, which will give you, it's like a lot of exploration stories. The key thing is altering the program based on success or lack thereof. And I think you guys are going to be, based on the sampling results, you're going to have some initial success, and then you got to decide where you put the next holes and how you follow that up based on how it goes.
I would think I was listening to my technical team in Mexico right now, telling me the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's good. All right. I think with that, we'll wrap it up here. Glenn, thank you very much for your time and for telling us about showing us a little more about Silver Tiger. And thank you for everyone for attending in the audience, and we'll speak with you shortly.
Thank you guys, and I'd just like to thank everybody for listening.